بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. Inshallah, we continue with our series, the 40 Hadith on Masjid Al-Aqsa. Hadith number 7. عن ميمونة مولاة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قالت: قلت يا رسول الله أفتنا في بيت المقدس. قال: أرض المحشر والمنشر ائتوه وصلوا فيه فإن صلاة فيه كألف صلاة في غيره. قلت: أرأيت إن لم أستطع أن أتحمل إليه؟ قال: فتهدي له زيتا يسرج فيه فمن فعل فهو كمن أتاه. Ibn Majah. Maymuna radiallahu ta'ala anha relates that she said, O Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, inform us about the visiting of the Bayt al-Maqdis in Jerusalem. He said that it is the land of gathering, al-Mahshar, and resurrection, al-Manshar. It is the land of gathering, al-Mahshar, and the resurrection, al-Manshar. Visit it and pray there, as one salah performed there is equivalent to 1,000 salahs performed elsewhere. She further asked, what about the one who doesn't have the capacity to travel to Jerusalem? He replied, then send some oil to be used in his lamps, as the one who sent oil to be used in his lamps will be like the one who performed the salah there. Imagine. Brothers and sisters in Islam, this hadith is very important in illustrating the virtue of Masjid Al-Aqsa and also the land surrounding. We see that the Prophet ﷺ is mentioning that the land surrounding Masjid Al-Aqsa is the land of Mahshar and Manshar. This is the land where the people will be gathered and the day of judgment, the day of resurrection will happen over here. This is in another hadith. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned literally that the resurrection and the Hashr will take place in Bilad al-Sham. Bilad al-Sham is not the current day Syria that you find, right? Rather, Bilad al-Sham is something that covers not only the Levant, right? Lebanon, Syria, right? Palestine, right? That entire land is called Bilad al-Sham. So Masjid al-Aqsa is included in this, right? So this is the place of Mahshar, of gathering, and Manshar, resurrection. So how important is this in the legacy and in the tradition of Islam and Muslims, right? So this is the first thing. The second thing is that the Prophet ﷺ in this hadith is mentioning that one salah prayed in Masjid Al-Aqsa is equivalent to 1,000 salahs. Previously we discussed that in other narrations that it is equivalent to 500 salahs. So what is that contradiction here in between? One explanation that Imam Tahawi rahmatullahi alayhi he mentions in his Mushkil al-Athar, right, which is the explanation of different, ahadith which sometimes need, some corroboration in between them. He mentions with regards to the virtue, it is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had initially announced 500 salah as a reward. Later on it was increased to 1,000. Later on it was increased to 1,000. However, some other ulama, they say that no, if that happens, then what is the distinction between Masjid al-Nabawi and Masjid al-Aqsa? Because we know from the previous ahadith that Masjid al-Nabawi has a higher rank in terms of the virtue of reward, and 1,000 salahs is mentioned, 1,000 rewards are mentioned for each salah for Masjid al-Nabawi. So there is a difference here, right? And then there are other narrations. In one narration, for example, there is mentioned that one salah in Masjid Al-Aqsa is equivalent to 50,000 salahs, right? But this narration is very weak. The sanad and the chain of transmission in this hadith is extremely weak. There's also another one that you find that one salah is equivalent to 250. That is equally as weak, right? So it seems that when you put together these collective narrations, subhanAllah, that the 500 one seems to be the most authentic. However, it is not beyond the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that if a person prayed therein that Allah would increase a person's ajr to 1,000, right? It's not distant and far from that. It illustrates the auspiciousness and the sanctity of Masjid Al-Aqsa in the legacy of Islam nevertheless. So this is the second thing that is mentioned. Maymuna radiallahu ta'ala anha, she follows up with asking a question that, Ya Rasulullah, because the Prophet ﷺ says that a person should go there and pray there. So she says that, what if a person is not able to pray there? Then what is the next thing that a person can do in order to benefit and attain the rewards of associating themselves with Masjid Al-Aqsa? The Prophet ﷺ said that send some money for its lamps, to light the lamps in Masjid Al-Aqsa. In this hadith, we learn that it is allowed for the masajid to have lights, for lamps to be lit, right? And other types of renovations, other types of things to take place in the masjid. This hadith is something that is allowing that. And for a person to send money not only towards the lamp, but towards the maintenance, towards the renovations, towards the upkeep, towards anything that will benefit the masjid and the compound itself, and even also the people that are defending it, the people that are looking after it, the people that are constantly putting their lives on the line in order to basically guard the sanctity of this masjid on behalf of the ummah. To send support for them is also part of it. It is also part of it. So it is very, very important for us to realize and understand once again that this is not an isolated issue, or not an issue that is not related to Islam. This is an Islamic issue, right? Let not a person, misguide you or misdirect you, I should rather say. Rather, this is an Islamic issue, right? It cannot be that the Masjid Al-Aqsa is overrun, or the Masjid Al-Aqsa is basically, it's lost to us because we did not, fully understand and fully appreciate the sanctity and the virtue of it, right? So this is something that should not happen, right? We should try our best that we go and we visit as much as we can, and if a person is not allowed to visit, if a person cannot make it, at least that desire should be there in the heart. But at least once in a lifetime. The Prophet ﷺ, gave an instruction that the people should go and pray there. On the basis of that instruction, I would like to go, right? To fulfill the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet of Allah not only gave the command to go, he himself went. So following the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, that desire should be there in our hearts. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala facilitates it, then we go there as much as we can. If we cannot, at least we send support. At least we send anything that we can, even if it's a little bit, even if it's whatever amount we can. And inshallah, when a person is sending that reward, the Prophet ﷺ is saying, it is as if the person is coming to pray there. You send money, you cannot come yourself, but you're sending money, you're sending support, then you're getting the ajr and the virtue of praying there itself. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me first and all of us the ability that we're able to do this. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ease the situation in Gaza. SubhanAllah, it's reported that more than 5,000 now, the death toll is more than 5,000 people now. May Allah make it easy for them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant their dead, their shuhada. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them their status as shuhada. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those that have lost their homes, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them even better homes. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant the sick and those that are ailing shifa and kamila. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant those that are suffering in any sort of way. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them relief from their suffering and their distress and anxiety. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remove the yoke of oppression and the oppressors from above their necks. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala free them and all those that are in distress across the world. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه.